I was an emotional mess. I had a dichotomy of emotions ranging from sadness, concern, up to gratitude, joy. As some of you know, my daughter got engaged this weekend. It was such a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And in the last 2 weeks, I've also been dealing with my father, who's been in the hospital. So he had quite a long hospital stay, and he hopefully, fortunately, is on the road to recovery. So it's just been like a crazy couple of weeks. And, it's really evident to me that emotional eating, stress eating, joy eating, it's all the same thing, and we are all vulnerable to it. So as I'm dealing with all these different kinds of emotions, I'm just kind of going beyond my basic strategy, my program, just a little bit here and there, but on a pretty consistent basis was I cheating, right? So I turn around, a few weeks later, and the scale's up, and my stomach is huge, and I'm uncomfortable, and I seem to have all those symptoms that I had before I started the Shake the Sugar program. And I'm frustrated. And I realize as a practitioner that we are all vulnerable to this. So before I go any further, let me just take a minute to introduce myself. I am Stacy Portugal. I am a weight loss coach, and I help women over 40, just like me, who are struggling with changing bodies, who are ready to get off that diet merry-go-round and live the life and get the results that they deserve. So here I was, I had long days at the hospital. That was very challenging. I had this coming up amazing celebration. So I had a lot of stuff to juggle, a lot of balls in the air, which of course is really typical for us women over 40, am I right? Throw a like in there if you agree with that. Definitely, this stage of my life is so different, so similar to even when my kids were young. The difference is that while I'm still juggling and I've got all the balls in the air, the issues are actually much bigger. So my emotional range is just so wide, that spectrum, that I don't even know what to feel sometimes, right? So emotions were creeping up on me, and I was just kind of breaking those boundaries that I typically keep. No sugar, no wheat, and I follow the Shake the Sugar pretty closely. And so now I'm kind of suffering those consequences, and it couldn't come at a more appropriate time. My partner in the group coaching, which we call Lifestyle Masterclass, and Sandy Smith and I, will be doing an emotional eating workshop. It is a 2-night workshop. It is done all virtually, just like this. It is done via, you can call in, you can be connected to us via conference, video conference, so whatever works for you. But we're going to be doing that on December 7th and December 8th. And it's just a 30-minute or so on each night. And we're really going to get down to the nitty-gritty of emotional eating, sort of defining what that is. And then the second night, we are going to really get down to some solutions. In addition, we're going to be giving a back on track worksheet to everyone who participates. So all you really have to do is click the link in this post to get on the email list, and everyone on our email list will be invited to join us. So again, it's December 7th and 8th. But let me just take you back a little bit to emotional eating and some things that you can do to really get yourself back on track to keep the emotions under control and that emotional or stress or joyous eating under control. And I'm just going to give you 2 quick strategies. One is When it comes to emotional eating, it's really, really important to have a plan. When you know that you're going through a lot of emotions, having a plan each day is super duper important. For me, not only am I super emotional, but I'm super busy. Now I'm starting to plan a wedding, and I'm still caring for my parents and running a business and lots of responsibility, right? So today I'm about to leave the house for the entire day, and I'll be part of the day in the suburbs, part of the day in the city, and I'm going to be carrying my food with me. So I'm really planning. I know what I'm going to eat, when I'm going to eat it, and that will help me sort of handle the emotional journey that I'm on overall. So the first strategy is to make sure that you're really planning, okay? If you're going through an emotional time, plan your food. Pre-track it, carry food, whatever that means to you. Know when you're eating, what you're eating. And this way you will be satisfied, and it's one less sort of, detour that you've got to deal with when your life is really, really crazy and you're feeling very emotional. The second strategy that I would suggest when you're dealing with a lot of emotions and you're more vulnerable to emotional eating is to find an activity that really helps you unwind. Now, I would recommend a physical activity if you can. So for me, the two biggest things that help me unwind, actually there's three things, but two primarily. For me, it's doing yoga, and it's also walking. And so it's whatever, wherever I can fit in, just whatever works for me on that particular day. But making sure that I'm following through on those activities, yoga, walking. For me, I like to also lift weights. I do find that relaxing. Some people don't. But whatever activity you choose, and it does not have to be physical, it could be something like, I want to sit down and just read a book for 30 minutes. So it's whatever it is that makes you feel recharged, energized. It's going to give you a mental and emotional break. So the two strategies when you're dealing with emotional issues and you're concerned about emotional eating is one, plan as much as you can, as often as you can, every day, down to whatever detail you can manage at that moment. Number two is to find an activity and engage in it daily that can help you unwind, de-stress, recharge, re-energize. And during the emotional eating workshop, we call it Manage Your Mood Without Food. During a Manage Your Mood Without Food workshop, we are going to get far more into detail and give a ton of strategies and really help the participants understand what emotional eating is. Emotional eating is a lot more than you think it is. And unfortunately, it can have some negative connotations, but we're going to bring it into light of reality so people understand it and it's not like this scary term, right? It's something that we're really all vulnerable to. So I hope you'll just click on the link, join our email list to make sure you receive an invitation for December 7th and 8th, Manage Your Mood Without Food. And that's it for me today. Make it a great day. I know I'm going to. And I'll see you next time, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for another Facebook Live. Take care. Bye-bye.